had like some people like asking me like, oh, like what do you mean you're going live? I was like, you gotta.
Right. It's official now, bro.
I had like some people like, right. All right, let's see what we got here.
I got the room set up. Let me just.
I'm just gonna message this to you really fast, so that way I can copy it on my phone to my gram, right? Hell yeah, cool. And then
Quick. It's crazy. It's already May 3rd. It's like years flying by.
Right.
I feel like every time I go on, I'm like, dang, it's already April. It's already May. It's like, it's already going to be June. I got this all set up right here.
All right, let's see.
I'll send out the Zoom link first to the premium members, and then I'll send out the YouTube as well.
Cool.
So you can get everybody in here. Let me get the YouTube link for you as well. All right, YouTube link looks good.
Our only option is to destroy him. That means Earth could be ground zero in World War. Look, I know some of you don't believe the visions of
All right, Josh, everyone's making their way in right now. Looks like we have quite a few people here in the room already. So let me just send the link out to everyone else. I'll post it up on the Instagram as well. Hey, Josh, I think you might be muted. You can just unmute yourself whenever you're.
Sounds good. Yep.
Okay, you're good. There you go. All right, cool. So the links are sent out. I'll just send them to the rest of the pages, but you can get started whenever you're ready.
Cool. Yeah, we'll
give it a few minutes.
We'll give another minute or so.
All right, cool. I'll send out the email real quick to get everyone else in here.
Yeah.
Josh, did you hop into that sell scout for US 30?
I took right before New York ended. There was an invalid that I took that totally like was under all of my parameters and whatnot. And I took it. So
yeah, I took a
it
sell
for 25.
Yeah, I took the sell that happened like probably like a couple hours ago. It finally hit, dude. It was like retracing back, and I was like worried it was going to come down. But I ended up taking the I lined it up with the 10-minute because there was a scalp entry there for the snipe strategy. So I pretty much just hopped into that when I got the chance. Luckily it hit though, because I usually don't trade after this, after hours anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see, link sent out right there.
Right. Yeah, man, we'll just give it like 30 more seconds and then we'll go ahead and start. So
yeah, no, definitely. Hey Andrea, hey Mark, hey John, hey everybody, welcome. This is going to be Josh's session. Like last time, he's going to be hosting the session. So basically, he'll have the floor. I'll just be here moderating. So I'll be helping if Josh needs any help, but I think he'll be perfectly fine without me here. Let me see if there's anyone else trying to make their way in. All right, looks good.
Yeah, man. So, hey, everyone, welcome to our little live session that we got here in the afternoon. Good morning to all those on the other side of the world, right? We know K2 is worldwide, and we love that. It's such a great community to really be a part of. Today, the intention of today is really just to kind of go over the 3-minute strategy, the K2 3-minute strategy. What do we look for? When do we enter? When do we not enter? And whatnot. So to really be courteous of everyone's time, we really wanted to make this about an hour long. So we're really highly suggesting to everyone that, hey, if you guys got questions, if Sean's unable or if someone's unable to answer them in the chats, it's all good to message us. It's okay to message me. It's okay to message Sean. If you're not a part of the K2 family, the next thing that we're going to suggest is, hey, get your premium subscription, get into the K2 family, so that way you can start making money like a lot of us here in the group, in the community. So again, hey, for the next 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to take up your guys' time, and hopefully this is going to be as informative as it can be. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start, man. If you guys, we're trading today, today's Monday, and they always say, hey, in the beginning of the month, first Monday, things are weird. Things get even more weird when it's, when you got people talking, like Powell talking. Things get even more weird when you got these stocks, especially for US 30, you got these stocks coming out with their earnings and whatnot, right? So for today, we're going to be focusing on US 30, right? We're going to be focusing strictly on US 30, 3-minute strategy, okay? Now, we get questions all the time. Hey, Josh, hey, Sean, does the 3-minute strategy work like on all assets? Does it work at any session, anytime? XYZ. And truth be told, the answer is we think so. But what we do know is that we do know that it definitely works during New York session, 3-minute strategy, right? Now, with that being said, we really want to encourage everyone to really go out and do your own back testing, do your own research. That's how a lot of these strategies have really been that came out, that were born, really, is because, we take the K2 indicators and we roll with them, right? So for today, again, not to be a broken record, we're going with the 3-minute strategy on US 30 during New York, okay? So let's just take today as an example, right? So some of you guys, you may be familiar with your trading view. This little guy up here, this is your bar replay, right? This little guy right here, this is your jump to button. So if you need to continue to go back in time, you simply just go to your jump to button and you go back in time, right? But for today, you know what? We normally like to go live like around 6:15, 6:20, 6:30. So we normally start looking for entries around 6:30, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go all the way back to about 6:30, right? So I'm zooming in. Here we go. So we know that this counter right here is 6:18, okay? Now, for me personally, what I'm looking for is, I see a lot of noise here, right? For these indicators. So for some of you that don't know, these vertical lines, these are the momentum indicators, right? Red, green, red, green, red, green, red. Those are the momentum indicators. These colorful lines that we see here, these are the pivot indicators, right? Both K2 strategies, K2 momentum, K2 pivots. Now, in order for this strategy to work, right, it's super imperative, really, really, really important that you got your K2 indicators. And we use K2 momentum, K2 pivots, right? So for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and just kind of get to 6:30, right? I know 6:30 is the next candle over. So here's 6:30. Now you might be asking yourself, all right, Josh, so I see your chart. Why doesn't my chart look like yours? All right, well, don't forget, right? You got to go to your indicators right up here. Invites only. Sean is the one that sends you what you need, all right? You then apply those and you'll see them right here on this drop down. These are where your indicators are going to be, okay? Now, for practice purposes, okay, for today, not only will we try to look for like appropriate signals or really appropriate entries, we're also going to try to go over some inappropriate ones as well, okay? Because the point of today is to really get us to a comfortable spot where, you know, we don't need necessarily, no disrespect to Sean, right? But we can trade without having to follow the live all the time. Because if you guys follow the live, you'll understand that Sean does a lot of teaching. And there are times where we're missing out on trades, or you're jumping in on a later part of the day. You may not be able to get in at 6:30, or you're at work, or you're driving in your car, or you're at home taking care of your kids. So whatever your circumstance is, the whole goal really is to how do we help create a community of real traders? I really feel that if you're a part of this K2 family, you're not a signal taker. You're a trader because you know what you're looking for. And that's one of the things that we really want to make sure that we get everyone to this spot. We highly recommend that, hey, don't be a signal trader or a signal taker. Don't be a signal taker. Well, where's the signals? Where are the signals? You know what? You are the signal. K2 is the signal. The live is the signal. But once you get to understand what you're looking for, you won't need a signal, because you'll be able to look at your chart straight up and be like, you know what? This is playing in our favor. This is playing in our favor. Okay. So let's talk about these pivots, right? These colorful lines. Now, on the pivots, you'll notice that there's 4 levels, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3, number 4. Well, Josh, you only got 3 on your chart. What's up with that? Well, exactly. What I like to do for this is that I like to eliminate level number 1, partly because it's moving too fast, right? The pivot is moving too fast. And what we look for, we really don't need level 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate it. We're just going to simply uncheck it. But we're going to have K2 levels 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now for me, I think by default, level 2 was like a yellow color. So I went ahead and turned it to teal, because the yellow was really like hurting my eyes. I couldn't really see it. So I went ahead and I changed it, right? So, excuse me, if you haven't done so already, at least for this particular strategy and what we look for, level 2, level 3, level 4, super imperative, super important, right? So now that I got my 3 levels, as you can see, I can see the 3 pivots all throughout the chart, right? The next thing that you want to have is definitely your momentum indicator. This is the momentum indicator. These vertical lines that we talked about, okay? Red and green, red and green, red and green, right? So momentum, it's crazy. Sean and I, we were talking about this one time. There are so many other ways to trade, right? There's, a lot of people like to use Fibonacci's, people like to use zones. Some people like to just close their eyes and click buy or sell, right? Hey, it's all good, man. I think with this particular strategy, this is really a momentum strategy, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentum strategy. And it works so well with US 30 because of volatility in US 30. US 30 moves crazy. It moves. You'll get good amount of points or pips throughout the New York session. And our job really is to capture anywhere from, 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30, 40, 50 pips. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's kind of start what we're looking for, right? So here's 6:30, right? We're all on live. We're all listening. We're all, doing something. So if I look to the left, I notice that the first or the signal before was a green momentum, right? So the next thing I'm really looking for is a red momentum. So right now, if you got your notes out, right? If you're brand new and you're simply looking, you know, for right now, just look for momentum signal, right? This is what we're doing right now. This is the very first thing. Just want to look for the next momentum signal. So for practice purposes, we're going to go ahead and just go through the chart, and we will definitely explain what we're looking for. So right now, since the last one was green, we're going to look for a red one, right? We're going to keep going, right? So I'm just chilling, just hanging out. I mean, earlier today, there was a opening buy strategy that we used. And I think, you know, just looking at it, right, you could have probably caught it for, yeah, like 75 pips. It's looking like 70 pips, probably 100 pips if anyone caught that in the morning, right? But for today, that's not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for straight up momentum signals right now. So we're going through, voila, here we go. All right, Josh, I got my first red momentum signal, right? Vertical lines. Okay, that's awesome. Got the first one. The next thing that we want to look for, right? And, you know, Sean does this a different way. I promise you guys, I will mimic Sean's style of the vocabulary that we use, okay? So I'll try to do it right now. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to look for K² momentum, right? Momentum. Now, the second thing we want to do is we want to make sure, okay, that the candle is the same color as momentum, okay? Now, red on red, green on green, red on red, green on green, red on red, green on green. Pretty simple, okay? Now, for the most basics of what we're looking for, if I were to show you something right now, that's a little bit more advanced on this 3-minute, but we're going to go to the basics, okay? So after we identify that these candles are the same as the momentum, the third thing that we want to do is that we want to make sure that the candle closes under / above pivots, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so here are my 3 pivots. For the sake of practice purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just mark them off, right? With these horizontal lines. Boom, boom, boom. We can visibly see that level 2 is right up here. We can visibly see that level 3 is the orange, visibly see that level 4 is down here. And what this should say is closes under, above all pivots, okay? So now that we see this, okay, number 3, we want to make sure that this candle is closing underneath or above all the pivots. Now, because this was a sell, right, it's red, it's a sell. What we want for this to be valid is that we want it to close underneath actually this red pivot in order for it to be valid for us, okay? Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the basics of the basics, okay? Super basic. I think today's 3-minute strategy, there was 2 good entries, all right? So now here's the question that I have for you guys. This candle, okay, it's got the red momentum. It is a red candle. But did it close underneath down here, underneath all the pivots? Did it close? I'll give you guys 5 seconds to think about it and answer it, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you answered no, you're absolutely correct, right? This bad boy did not close underneath this pivot down here. So theoretically, this would not have been a valid sell signal for us to take, okay? It would not have been a valid sell signal for us to take. And also, just so we know, I will be putting the TPs and the stop losses right up here, okay? And we'll talk about the TPs and the stop losses here in a second. But again, going to according to the rules, right? Yes, there was a red momentum. Yes, the candle was red as the momentum, but for some unknown reason, that candle did not close underneath this pivot down here. Candle closed right here, right? You guys see that? It closed right here. Opened up here, closed down here. There's the red pivot. Since this did not close underneath, this is not a valid signal for us, right? But you know what? For practice purposes, let's just go ahead and chart it. Let's just go ahead and see, if it actually obtains any type of pips, okay? So the default, we get this question a lot. The default setting that we have for the TP and the stop loss, it is unorthodox. And I think I was talking to Rick earlier, right? It's unorthodox. It's unorthodox. It doesn't make any sense. But once we start showing you guys why we have a higher stop loss than the TP, then you guys will start to understand. But this is really like a default setting. You are not bound as a trader to use these settings 24/7. This is like the default, the recommended settings. Hey, if you wanted to put your stop loss real tight, 25 to 25, then by all means. If you wanted to go 50 to 50, then by all means as well. But in the back testing that we've done, we've really recognized the magic default numbers: 25 TP, 50 point stop loss, okay? 50 pip stop loss. So, but for practice purposes, we're going to go ahead and chart this out, right? So I'm going to go ahead and enter it on the following open. Here's the close, here's the open, right? Just so you guys can make sure we're right on the money. There you go. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next 3-minute candle. Okay. Well, it ended at break even, right? But you can tell that it did get some pips in there. You would have had 14 pips if you've, wanted to close out a little early. All right, let's go to the next candle. You might be thinking, oh, crap. Why did I enter this? It's going in drawdown, right? It's retracing, it's tracing. Well, that's part of the market, right? That's what happens. It's all good. We wait, okay? We're waiting for this to either go away or not. Now, remember, this is for practicing entering this particular candle. Because again, just so we know, this is invalid, okay? Totally invalid. We are not taking this. This is for practice purposes for right now. Now, this might actually hit TP. And in all honesty, I think it does. Let's see. But we're going to keep going until we get the next momentum signal, which should be a green momentum, right? We're going to keep going. Keep going, keep going. All right, so here we go. I hope everyone sees this. This was a total of 30 minutes, right? Between here and here. This was 30 minutes. Now, again, the recommendation is 25 pips, 50 point stop loss. Now, again, as a trader, if you wanted to get 18 pips, then cool. You could have done that. All right. But we're always going to recommend the 25, 50 point stop loss. And as a reminder, right, disclaimer, not every entry is ever 100% accurate. We all know that, okay? We all know that. So please, don't message me, oh, your strategy lost me money. The first thing that I'm gonna ask you is, what was your leverage? What are you leveraging? You over leveraging? You blew your account? You failed your FTMO, your funding talent? Oh, okay. I get it. I understand now, right? So a lot of risk management you got to practice and XYZ, right? But between these 30 minutes, you can tell that I could have gotten 18 pips, but within that time, here, I got the next momentum signal. Now, as a reminder, what I just showed you was to simply how to enter the trade if this was valid, right? If this was valid, and I have like little settings for me that once I click it, it just automatically goes to 30 or 25.50. So this, ladies and gentlemen, was a invalid trade. We're not even going to mark this up. I just wanted to show you guys kind of like how to input the trade, right? Okay, so let's go on to the next trade. Now here is a buy or a green momentum, right? Step number one, K2 momentum, boom, right here. Here's my momentum. Step number two, is the candle the same color as the momentum? Yeah, it's green, 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 green. Okay, cool. Last but not least, does the candle close under or above all the pivots? Yeah, it does. Okay, it does. Now, I'm actually going to change something up on you guys because I totally forgot. This, we're talking about the original strategy. So sorry, I need to eliminate level 2 really fast because that's something that I'll show you guys in the next session. So really, it's just both 3 and 4, pivots 3 and 4. Okay, sorry for the confusion for everyone. 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So going back to this, number 3, does the candle close? So if we're looking at this candle, is this the close or is this the close? I'm not looking for wicks. I'm talking about open and close. Well, this is the open. Close is up there. So does this candle close above pivot K2 pivot level 3 and level 4? Yes, it does. So therefore, for us, for training purposes as well, for us, this is a valid entry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my TP as 25 and my stop loss is 50. Okay. Now, remember, well, Josh, help me understand what the strategy is. Like, you don't have structure, you don't have this, you don't have that. Hey, man, you know what? You're absolutely right. Because this strategy is a momentum strategy. And I really want to make sure that everyone understands that. This is a momentum strategy. So to me, even though we can have a bias of a uptrend, bullish, or downtrend, bearish, if the signal is within my parameters, then I'm going to take that signal, right? And obviously, there's more things that we can look into a little later on. But for today, we're teaching everyone what are the basics of this 3-minute strategy. So let's go on. Let's go move forward with the candle, right? Boom. Look at that. I'm already up 17 pips. That's 3 minutes. 3 minutes into it. Up 17 pips. All right, let's go on the next candle. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone sees this right now. There goes my full TP, 25 pips. Full TP, right? Now, just to do the math, some of you guys, FTMO, you might have a 1 lot. If you're using funding talent, it might be a 10 lot or whatever, right? Let's say you're using funding talent, okay? You're using funding talent, and, you know, Kyle really helped me get a better grasp of funding talent. So if I use a lot size of 0.10, and I times that by whatever my TP was, there we go, 0.10, times that by my 25 pips, okay? 0.10 on funding talent is the equivalent of $10. Just want everyone to know that, okay? So on this trade alone, I want everyone to see that this trade alone right here would have made you $250. Granted, if you got in right at the entry and you exited right at 25 pips. Now, of course, you might get 237, 197 or whatever, because this is a scalp. This is a scalp. Price moves fast, okay? But theoretically, you would have obtained $250 on a 10, 0.10 or 1.0 on FTMO. So this one trade for you today, ladies and gentlemen, would have made you $250. So let me ask you guys this. I know a lot of you guys have a job like me, right? For those of you who don't know, I actually work for a nonprofit. I do case management for 18 to 24-year-olds who are experiencing homelessness. So my job is pretty tough. I see a lot of things and I take home a lot of things. And I get paid decent money. But you mean to tell me that within 6 minutes, I made $250 because this signal met my whole entire parameter? If that's what you're telling me, I kid you not, I will be well on my way into becoming a full-time trader. That I kid you not. Okay, $250, and that's me being conservative, 0.10. That's not even 1% of your daily max drawdown. If you're doing a FTMO or a funding talent, $100,000 account, you can lose up to $5,000 in a day, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but some of us are not making $250. Some of us are not doing that. So this is the power of K2. This is the power of making sure that if you've got the time to go on the live sessions, if you're really wanting to educate yourself, you're going to join the group, you're going to join K2, you're going to get into the chats, you're going to message who you need to message. There's a lot of talent and knowledge within the premium group. There's not hundreds, but there's a lot of other people who are more talented than I am as a trader. Yet here I am. I have the opportunity and I feel blessed to really educate everyone on this 3 minute. But there are a lot of people who do this on a daily, man. So going back to the strategy, look at that. There's my TP, 25 pips. Booyah. All right, cool. So you know what, Josh? I'm glad I got my money, but you know what? I'm interested in what the next signal is going to look like. So obviously we got the green signal here, right? But let's go ahead and move forward to the next one, okay? So price is going to do its thing, right? Price is doing its thing. It's going up, it's going down, yada, yada, yada. Here we go. This is perfect. I hope everyone's looking at this, right? Step number 1, identify the red momentum, green momentum. Right here, we got the red momentum. This is awesome. Step number 2, is your candle the same color as the momentum? Red on red. Yes, it is. Red on red. It is good. Okay. Step number 3, did the candle close underneath 3 and 4? Now, for those of you who are new to trading, if we're looking at this candle, I want to know where does it open? Where does it close? Well, this is where it opened at, right? This is where it closed. That's where it closed. So help me out. I need your guys' opinions. I need your guys' advice. Tell me, did this close underneath both the orange and the red pivot? Did it close down here? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. It's all good. 1, 2, 3. No, it did not. It did not close. So for practice purposes, right, for us, this is an invalid entry. We do not enter. We don't enter. We do not enter. Okay. This is not good for us. Okay. And again, this is going based off of the basic 3-minute strategy. Now, I do want to show you guys something. I want to rewind back to the previous red candle. This is why you don't enter something that doesn't follow your parameters. Hit stop loss. You guys see that? I hope everyone's looking at that right now. Everyone on the live, everyone in the premium, all 38 of the people on the Zoom right now. This is the reason why we don't enter it. Not only did it fail to meet one of our required rules for ourselves, but don't take it because, well, it's a pretty big candle. Like, it's going to drop more. It's going to drop more. Okay, go ahead and take it. Right? Go ahead and take it because you're going to lose $500 on this one trade right there. If you had a 0.10 or a 1.0, there goes your $500 for the day. And now you're in drawdown. And now you're going to message me, well, Josh, like, you know, what happened? I got the red momentum signal and I entered. Well, you didn't follow the rest of the rules. So that's why we don't take that. Okay, well, maybe, right? Maybe it's the same about this one too. I'm not sure. Okay, but for this sake, you know, we're just going to go ahead and just see where this goes, see where this takes us. So we're moving forward because we're really wanting the next buy signal, right? There it is. There's the next buy signal. Now, for those of you guys who are watching online, I'm going to delete this, but we're going to go back to it. Okay, we're going to delete it, but we're going to go back to it because I want to show you guys something. All right. But for right now, we got this buy signal. Okay. So here we go. Let's look at our rules, man. Let's look at our rules. Did I come across a K2 momentum signal? I did. You know, I was talking to someone before a couple of days ago. They're like, well, these are buy signals and sell signals, buy signals and sell signals. No, they're not buy signals and sell signals. And I think that some of us, we need to change that vocabulary. They're not buy signals, they're momentum signals. This vertical line does not tell you to buy or sell. It just tells you, hey, there is a momentum going on. All right. So I really want to make that clear. That's why I didn't put in here buy/sell. Right. Well, that terminology is wrong. And if that terminology is wrong, then that means Sean and I and everyone else, all the other admin, we're teaching you wrong. So these bars are not buy signals. This is not a sell signal. This is a momentum signal. Okay, momentum signal. Now, step number 2. Does the candle have the same color as the momentum signal? You bet it sure does. That's a green candle with a green momentum signal. Cool. Now let's go to the last rule for ourselves, right? Because we're trying, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be disciplined. We want to be disciplined as a trader. Okay. Something truthful about me, you know, I've failed an FTMO funding account. I failed it because I wasn't disciplined. It wasn't that the trade failed me. I failed myself because I wasn't disciplined enough to, you know, really stick to the rules. I entered trades and lost because I wanted it to go my way. Being disciplined means you wait for candles to completely close. You don't anticipate a move. If you're ever on the live stream with Sean, you will see that those candles will pop a sell momentum, and then all of a sudden it just goes into like a green candle, and you're like, what the heck? How did that happen? That thing was pushing hard down. And that's what US 30 does. Someone once told me US 30 doesn't care what you think, which is absolutely true. US 30 definitely does not care what you think. So here, the candle does close above, right? Now, for all you newer traders, well, where's the close? Josh, I don't know where the open, I don't know where the close is. Well, down here is where it opened. Up here is where it closed. So this is where it closed. And because the candle closes above both 3 and 4, see, there's my 3 and 4. It closed above. Technically, this is a valid buy entry for us. Okay. So you know what? I'm going to be brave right now. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up as a buy, right? Mark this bad boy up as a buy. Here are my parameters, 25.50. Now, again, I want to stress this. The default is 25.50. You as a trader, that is up to you. But we are always going to recommend to go 25.50. And J-Rock, I just saw your message. That's funny, bro. So we're here, and let's see where price takes us, right? Because I don't know if there's news. I don't know if Biden's going to speak. I don't know if Powell's going to speak. I don't know if Facebook or Amazon just announce something. Like, that's the beauty of the US 30. That's the beauty of the market. Everything could be right, and then it goes against us. But I mean, it is what it is. We take the loss, right? Don't over leverage. So here we go. All right, so we had a little bit of drawdown, but on this candle, I'm up 3 pips, right? Or 2 pips, as you can tell. Right here, if you guys didn't know, right there in the middle on TradingView, that tells you what your pip count is currently, just FYI, okay? Let's go to the next one. Ooh, all right, so now I'm up 15. It's looking good. You know what, Josh? I'm up 15, I want to close. By all means, close the bad boy then. It's all good. You got your 15 pips. No worries, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a scalp. These things move so fast. I remember people asking us, hey, where's the signal? Where's the parameters? Where's the buy entry? Where's the TP? Where's this? Where's that? Well, you can't necessarily take your eyes off this thing. Most of the time, you're going to have to enter manually. You're going to have to exit manually. So if you're scalping, again, this is not a set it and forget it. This is a scalp move. You guys saw here on this candle, this was a 6-minute move. Actually, let's see how many candles it was. Let's go to the 1 minute. This on the 1 minute was literally a 3-minute move on the 1 minute. This was a 3-minute TP. What are you doing in 3 minutes? I'll tell you what I did in 3 minutes today. I got a coffee, and I actually missed out on this entry today. I poured myself coffee in the morning. I missed out on this entry today. That's what happened within that 3 minutes. So you can't necessarily, oh, hey, Sean, hey, Josh, hey, Kyle, where's the signal at? Well, the signal is right in front of you. The signal is right in front of your face. We're teaching you how to take it, okay? So, all right, I'm up 15. What's the next candle give me? Okay, it went down a little bit, down 13. Boom, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your 25 points, 25 pips. And you know what? If you did 0.10 on this one too, you just made $500 for the day today. $500 before 8:21 in the morning. How do you guys feel about that? And again, I'm not telling you what you should leverage. That's not what you can leverage $1 a pip. By 8:21 in the morning, you got $50 for the day. You want to do $10, or 0.100 or whatever. You want to drop a 10 lot. You want to do $100 a pip. That's on you. But by 8:21, you literally you obtained, by 8:21, you obtained 50 pips. Now here's the challenge that I want for everyone to really think about. Let's not think about money. Let's think about the pips, because your lot size is what's going to dictate how much money you make. But if we're all obtaining 50 pips, some of us are going to be more conservative. Some of us are going to be extremely aggressive. And then there's going to be a lot of us who are going to be reckless. But the fact of the matter is that if you're obtaining 50 pips for the day, that's not bad. And this is only using one. And I repeat, one of the K2 strategies. Think about it. One of the K2 strategies. Because when Sean is going live in the morning, Sean's looking for 10 minutes. Sean's looking for 3 minutes. Sean's looking for the daily. Sean's looking for the 1 minute. I don't know if you guys have been following the last few weeks, but the 1 minute has been working very well. There's a lot of different traders in the group. I would suggest that you guys go get connected with Kyle and Sisuk and Patricia and some of these other people who, have their own things going on as well. But for today's purposes, this is what the 3 minute looks like. And by 8:21, if you were satisfied with 50 pips for the day, you can retire for the rest of the day. You don't need to take any more trades. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where a lot of us go wrong. We get greedy. We want to make more money. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's go down, right? Let's keep going. Let's see what the next signal gives us, just to kind of, let's see what it gives us. Some of you guys might be saying, well, damn, Josh, like, look, you could have went for like 50 pips if you would have just held on. You guys see that? Hey, there goes your 1-to-1 ratio for all you haters out there who are hating on the 25-50, all you haters. There goes your 50-50. But again, that's the beauty of you as the individual trader. You can dictate and you decide when you want to cut your losses, when you want to exit your trade, how long you want to hold your trade for. It's all good. Do it. But if you're going to go by the default of what we are recommending, it's going to be 25-50. Okay? It's going to be 25-50, 25-50. So let's keep going, right? And for the sake of time, ladies and gentlemen, because I do want to get Sean on here in the last, 5 minutes or so, we got about 10 more minutes of this, all right? So again, I did want to be respectful of everyone's time. I don't want to go for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We had 2 great examples. Actually, we had 4 great examples, 2 of them being solid entries, 2 of them being invalids, right? We had that. So I hope that really helped out for some of us who are starting to apply the strategy, right? But, we got a few more minutes. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. So, K2 momentum. All right, Josh, now I need to think about this. I got to think about this. Does this have a red momentum or green momentum? Yeah, it has a red momentum. Okay, cool. Does this have a red candle? It sure does. Where did the candle close? Did it close up here? No, that's not the close. That's the open of that candle. It closed down here. Did it close underneath? Red meaning under, green meaning above, right? Did it close underneath the pivots? No, it did not. It did not. Okay. Now I can see here in the language, closes underneath. We'll put sell. Closes above, buy. How about that? I hope that kind of helps everyone out. Hopefully. Okay. So because of the fact that this did not close underneath, this is an invalid trade for us. Okay. Invalid trade for us. Now, that doesn't mean that it won't go for the 25 pips. It doesn't mean that, right? It doesn't mean that. And I'll show you why some of these invalids actually might actually obtain the 25, but that will not be today. That's a more advanced class. This is just the basic of the basic. But you know what? For practice purposes, I do want to mark this up. This might hit TP, but what we don't want to do is we don't want to gamble, right? We don't want to play around with our capital. Now, as you guys can tell, this does hit the 25 pip mark, but does it break past it? Maybe. It looks like it does, right? But we're going to keep going until the next, signal that we get. All right, right here, right? Now, even though you might say, well, Josh, it hit TP, but you know what? I guarantee you, I promise you, if we're going based off the basic rules, you're not going to gamble like this. This is what's called too risky for us. We would rather have you protect your capital versus lose your capital. Because if you would have followed suit on these two, truth be told, you would have lost 100 pips and only gained 25 on this. So theoretically, you still would have been down 75 if you would have took these red momentums. So that's why it's so important, guys, to not take invalids. I will teach you why this particular one was a valid one. I'll teach you that in another session, okay? But that's a lot more complex, okay? So, and again, today was pretty gnarly, man. Today was pretty gnarly. We had somebody was speaking today, right? Now I want to show you guys something. As we're going through, I want you guys to notice these pivots, right? As we can tell from 6:30, we saw that these pivots were pretty bullish. Bullish meaning they were going up. We visibly see that. Everyone sees that, right? Okay. Now I want to show you guys something. I was talking to someone earlier today about this. Like, they were telling me, hey, Josh, I just entered right here. Do you think it's a good trade? And I was like, hey, man, like, market's a little flat. And this is what I mean by that. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Look at that red pivot. You guys tell me, what direction is this moving right now? Look at this. You guys see this? I hope everyone is watching this. So I got to buy momentum. I got to sell momentum. But look at this. Look at this. From right here, guys, right about, maybe 924-ish, maybe, right? Market was flat as can be. Now, as we practice, we don't want to enter flat markets because, okay, cool. Just because this closed above the pivots, right? Okay, green momentum, same color. Here's the close. And it closed above the pivots, right? Because the pivots are down here, close above. That's, Josh, according to your rules, that's valid. That's valid. Oh, okay, if you want to play that. But we also want to have our entries where there's volatility, where there's volume, where the price is actually like moving and grooving, right? Look how flat this thing is. So you tell me, like, why would you want to enter on something, that's flat? Why would you want to do that to yourself? Okay. So even if you were at work and now it's, your lunchtime and you saw this right here, you saw this one, you're like, oh, it's lunchtime for me. Ooh, red signal and red candle, and it closes underneath the pivots. Oh, heck yeah, man. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's going to be a solid sell entry for me. So you know what? Because Josh said this is what I need to look for. Josh knows what he's talking about. So we're going to go ahead and do it. The first thing I'm going to ask you is look to your left, bro. Look at this. For the last hour, it was flat. Why would you want to enter in a flat market? We do not want to do that, ladies and gentlemen. So don't do that. Skip it. Don't enter it, right? Don't enter it. Let it be. Because there is something, and it does exist, called a flat market where volatility dies down. When people go to lunch, when certain sessions close, right? So you don't want to enter the market when certain things are flat. If you were trading today, you would have known that this was the buildup before Powell started to talk. Powell was talking today, right? Jerome Powell, he was talking today. So all these traders, institutional traders, the banks, they were like, all right, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait. So that's why there was no movement, because everybody was waiting. They're just waiting, right? They're just waiting. And then you'll notice as we're going, it's still kind of flat, right? I mean, yeah, it's going down a little bit. That's still flat to me. That's still flat. And another thing that we can look at, ladies and gentlemen, is look at the pivots. You see how they're getting closer and closer? They're pinching. They're almost one line. You got to know your indicators, ladies and gentlemen. You got to know your indicators. This is a flat market right now. This is pretty flat. Okay. That ain't moving too much. It's called consolidating, right? It's ranging. It ain't going nowhere. And then all of a sudden, right? Okay, we get a pretty big sell momentum here. Next candle, oh crap, it reversed right back. When I see this, I'm like, all right. Powell started talking at 11. It's like, all right, we're going to get some movement pretty soon. But let's see. So here's our buy signal. Now for me, which a lot of us follow suit, we said, hey, Powell's talking. We're not going to enter anything right now. But for some of the, I won't call them reckless. I'll call them risk takers. For some of the risk takers, some people actually got in on this buy. They got in because they were like, hey, he's already talking. The market's starting to move and I want to ride it out. And let's see what happens, right? And again, this is just really risky. That's why we said the risk takers. I mean, to me, this is still kind of a flat market. These are just like bursts of momentum, real quick, right? It's just the bank's trying to stop people out, stop loss hunt. I think that's what they call it, right? They're trying to take people out of trades. Look at that. So if you would have entered this buy because it closed above the pivots and all this other stuff, you were, I mean, again, I don't want to call you reckless, but you were extremely risky because one, there's just looking at a lot of stuff. Look how flat this was for that last hour and a half. Number two, Powell was talking. Number three, look how tight those pivots are. They're laying one right on top of each other. So you know what? You could have got 22 pips out of it. You could have. And if you did, that's awesome. But if you're going to be that guy or that girl that's like, well, Josh, you said 25. So I'm just going to let it hit 25. You said 25. All right, man, if you want to live and die by 25, well, look what happened to you. Look exactly what happened to you. Okay. And for you more advanced traders, J-Rock and I, we were talking about, we took shorts somewhere around this area over here. This is where we took the shorts. And we will explain that at a different time, why I took a short. Actually, I took the short here at this momentum, but I will explain that at a different time. But for the most basic of the most basic, this one right here would have eventually resulted in a 50-point stop loss if you didn't take your profit at 22 pips. But for the sake of K2, hey, you obtained 50 pips because we talked about why this was invalid. We talked about why this was invalid. Sean did not enter these three invalids because they were invalid. They did not meet the requirements of these. And I remember Sean posting these two buys on the premium or on, the public chat. These two buys were very, very, very valid. All right. So, with that said, the great thing about this strategy is that if we just look at today's session, ladies and gentlemen, you obtained 50 pips. Now, granted, what your lot size is looking like, if you did a 0.10, or a 0.01 or 0.1 or whatever, you could have easily made $500. For some of you risky people, it could have been, $300 for every entry, and that would have been $600 or $1,000 or whatever. If you guys are having trouble on how to calculate your risk or whatever, reach out to us, reach out to me, reach out to Sean, reach out to a lot of people in the group. These guys, they've been doing this for a very long time. But, you know, we're 3 minutes over. The last thing that I want to say is that for those of you guys who are on YouTube, and, you know, I don't have the YouTube up right now, so I don't know how many people are watching it. But if you're looking on the YouTube live and you're not a part of the premium group, you're missing out, because the premium isn't just like a signal provider. Like, again, Sean and I, we were talking about this earlier. If you're on the live session, there goes all your signals right there, because Sean is looking, we're looking. But also, once you get the indicators, there goes your signals right there as well. What we want to do in this group, in this community, is really help build and maintain traders who can do it on their own. So that way they can help us teach the new people who come on. And there's this sense of loyalty to, you know, the K2 group, because it's like, well, the reason why I'm successful is because of the indicators. 1, 2, the reason why I'm successful is because of the education. 3, the reason why I'm successful is because of the mentorship. There is a K2 mentee mentorship group that we have. If you're new and you're not in it, reach out to me. I'll put you in it. We'll put you in it. Okay. Flynn will put you in it. Patricia, Mark, Kyle, all these people will put you in the group, in the mentorship group, and you can ask questions. Like, we're here to help you guys out. But personally, what I see with these momentum indicators, these support and resistance indicators, you know, all these K2 indicators, trend meter, all these indicators right here, ladies and gentlemen, man, I'm not lying to you guys. You're a fool if you're not in the group. If you're just, you're very lucky if you just continue to go on YouTube live and just continue to get the free stuff that Sean is providing for you, because I'll tell you what, pretty soon, right, that may no longer exist anymore, because it's growing so fast and it's growing so rapid. But we don't necessarily want to just continue to just give, not that it's free knowledge, but we want to make sure that there's an understanding, that there's a rhyme to the reason, right? We want to make sure that you're understanding the 3-minute strategy as much as you can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, it's so important for you to be able to see what Sean sees, to see what I see. And if you see what I see, then damn, man, like you might be ready. And guess what? All we did was just, you know, showed you how to do the strategy, because at that point, you're going to be able to do it on your own. You're not going to need any more help, and you'll be making money on your own, you know, and that's totally cool. But I know for me, you know, if you want to reach out to me, hey, it's all good. You know, Sean used to call it the Josh's 3-minute strategy. I told Sean, let's change it to the K2 3-minute strategy. So technically I am the creator of it, but I don't roll that way. I don't like the fame of like getting the strategy, having my name on the strategy. No. So if anyone ever has a question on the 3-minute, you can ask me. That I promise you, I will. I have an obligation to everyone who's a part of the K2 community. I have an obligation to you guys, and I will definitely try my best to help you guys out. Okay. So for the last few minutes, Sean, I don't know if you want to come back on or unmute yourself or whatever, but you know, that's pretty much it for today. I hope everyone, you know, got what they were looking for. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to answer questions like on the fly, but I really wanted to not be interrupted and just kind of go through it. If you guys have questions, shoot me a Telegram message, shoot me a message on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever. Like, there's multiple ways of getting in contact with me. That's no problem at all. I'll help you guys out. That I promise. So.
All right, cool. Perfect. Thanks, Josh, for that. If you guys have any questions, I mean, you guys can ask questions now while Josh is here, or I can answer them for you. I mean, it really depends on what you guys are asking for. You know, obviously we're here to help you guys out. If you guys don't have any questions now, obviously I'll be back again tomorrow for our morning live session. But I think overall, I think Josh pretty much covered everything. I know Josh kind of hinted to the new strategies he's working on, you know, little variations to what we're already applying. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of new things coming, guys. And, you know, like you said, If you guys aren't part of the premium, that's cool. If you guys just want to hang around and, you know, copy my trades while I trade live. But like he mentioned, you know, you guys are really missing out on a ton of other profits because, you know, obviously if you guys look at the profits that everyone has locked in today, you know, I didn't really call that many trades today. I called like maybe 3 or 4 US 30 trades, but, you know, some people here like Chef Bubbles, he's like trading like EJ, CJ, GJ, NJ, like everyone here is trading different things. Even Josh, you know, he's trading S&P, AN, US 30, GJ, all these other trades. So like, you don't have to trade only what I'm trading. Obviously there's a ton of different things that you can trade as well. If you guys have the indicators, you know, just a reminder, these strategies work on everything. It's not just US 30. I personally trade US 30 because that's what I'm good at. You know, you don't have to trade every single thing out there. Like some people like to trade everything. And you can, if you're good at everything, then yeah, you can trade everything, but I'm really good at US 30. That's why I stick to US 30 most of the time. But I still do trade Forex. So, you know, if you guys are interested in learning these strategies, it's available to you. Just go on the website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategy course right here, and you'll have access to the indicators and the strategies. But, you know, like what Josh was mentioning before, we're like more focused on teaching people. We don't really want to be giving out signals as much anymore. Because a lot of people are taking these signals and not understanding what's going on, right? We don't want you guys to be clueless and lost whenever we take a trade and wonder, you know, whether you should exit a trade or not, because you should already understand whether you should exit a trade or not by understanding what we're applying here. So, you know, with that said, if there's no other questions here, let me check real quick to see if there's anything on the Zoom. If there's any other questions.
And just to piggyback off that, like I really want to like make that, you know, a standard. You know, we could, you know, Sean could give out these signals, which is great. You know, the signals they're okay, but I think we all have this agreement that like for your own personal growth as a trader, you gotta understand like the current screen we're looking at right now. You know, if you're not understanding the zones that was drawn up on this and you're completely lost, like that's more important than actually just getting the signal in itself. And then, well, fuck, you know, I lost money because I took Sean's signal. And it's like, well, like you would have also known that you probably should have exited or this or that, and all the signals. Like you want to educate yourself so that way, you know, you're able to feed yourself and you're able to feed your family versus like really relying on other people. These lives, they're great because this gives you an idea on what we do. But if you're looking for like entry 33479, TP 3325, like stuff like that, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, like truth be told, Sean can disagree, but I don't think this is the group for you, right? Especially with like certain stuff like US 30 or especially for like scalp moves. If they're like longer trades, then yeah, maybe, right? But like for these really fast moving scalps and trade pairs and stuff, this may not necessarily be the group for you because we do have this agreement that, man, you guys got to really understand. But hey, ask the question, ask me, ask Sean, like we'll help you understand it. That's much more valuable than just like, well, I'm making money because all I do, I just follow signals. Well, good luck. You know what I mean? So we don't want anyone to be like that, especially in the K2, man, the K2 fam. Like we want to produce, or, you know, I know this is Sean's thing, but I'm 100% convinced that Sean wants to be able to produce good traders, right, Sean? I mean, like I'm assuming that's what you want yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely, you know, like our next route for K2, like, you know, this started off as an educational platform, but like at the rate we're going, like, you know, you guys have seen everyone's profits every single day. Like everyone's locking in at least a couple of $1,000 a day. So like our next route for K2 is probably to move towards prop firm stage where it's going to be more of a professional, traditional prop firm. It's not going to be like FTMO where you can just, you know, pay a entry fee and do it. You guys are going to be trading the K2 capital. So, you know, we only want the best traders within K2 to be trading the K2 capital. So that's probably gonna be the next step. You know, we've already educated enough people here to be consistent and profitable every single day. And, you know, it only makes sense for us to create our own prop firm within K2 to, you know, keep that profit growing, because when everyone wins, we all win. You know, even right now, when one person wins during the live session, we all win because we're all taking the same trades. And that's where our goal is here. You know, I'm trying to mold you guys to be traders, you know, as good as a trader as I am, if not better. Some of you guys are making more profit than me daily. And that's what I'm trying to mimic here. I'm trying to make sure that you guys are as profitable as I am, if not more, and just, you know, grow the group within there so that we can keep it within the community, right? We don't really want this to go out to like random people where anyone can just do this. We want to keep it within the K2 community. And as we continue to grow, you know, there's some bad apples that come in, some bad apples that go out. So whoever's been with K2 for a while, you guys have already seen the ups and downs within K2. Obviously, it's been more ups because we've had pretty good consistency all throughout, I guess, the past 2 or 3 years. And we're trying to continue that. And, you know, we want to keep quality members within K2. So, you know, with that said, that's probably going to be our next step. And we're probably going to be phasing out these signals and just be focusing more so on educating people who actually want to learn. So that's why Josh is here, you know, getting his experience with teaching, because, you know, he created the 3-minute strategy and everyone's been killing it with 3-minute strategy. So we want to keep growing off that and, you know, basing all the knowledge off Josh, because this is Josh's strategy. I just, you know, it's a spinoff off the pivot strategy, but it's Josh's thought process. And obviously we're building off that to make it as better as we can throughout time. So yeah, I think that's about it for this. Is there anything else you got to say, Josh?
Nah, man. Hey, like we love you guys so much, man. Thanks for coming in on the Zoom and the live on YouTube. Hopefully we'll be able to do this on a weekly basis, at least for me, for my schedule. I'm really looking forward to Monday nights, my time, 6 p.m. my time here in California. But you know, just thank you for everyone's time. Appreciate it. And hopefully, if you guys don't mind, man, like go ahead and review this and really like send it off to other people as well, you know, help us grow this community as much as we can. But thank you, everyone, for sure.
Definitely, guys. So yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. Just a reminder, you know, I'll be live again tomorrow morning for the live session. When Josh goes live again for another mentoring session, we'll let you guys know. And I'll let you know whenever I go live for mentoring session as well. I think right now everyone's more focused on this strategy here. So I think Josh will probably be handling a lot of the mentoring sessions.
Yep.
And I'll probably, once I get the actual videos down for these strategies, because obviously we've been working on these, you know, day in, day out. Once we get the actual strategy videos down, then I can start mentoring on these strategies specifically, because, you know, obviously you guys need something to follow. That's pretty much streamlined that you guys can just, you know, check off the list. So once that's done, then I can start doing mentoring sessions again. But I think for now I'm focusing on my own trades, and Josh is probably going to be handling most of the, mentoring sessions regarding the 3-minute, because I think that's what most of you guys like anyways. So it works out for both of us. And I think from there, that's where we're going to grow from. So if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out to me or Josh or anyone in the group, really. Just pop into the premium chat or even the public chat, and you guys can, you know, get your questions asked. I'll try to get to you guys as soon as possible, but I've been busy. So it might take, you know, at least a couple hours for me to get over to you guys, but I will respond if you guys ever ask me any questions. But I think that's about it. So we'll see you guys in the next live session. So anything else, Josh? Or are you good?
Nope, we're good. Thank you, everyone.